welcome to the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast. I am your host, Ann Alston, and it is my pleasure again to be here to bring you quality programs to all of you. I am excited, yes, again, for I don't know how many times I have said it, but I'm just really excited to have another professional, a very young lady here who's all about health and wellness, teaching everybody about nutrition. I just cannot wait to talk to her today and learn more about what she's doing to educate us all about good health. And so in 2018, we have a tremendous amount of information to share on this platform from everybody who has participated thus far. So if you missed your chance to be on this podcast this year, make sure you sign up for the 2019 Call of Speakers for the BMWOC season. Just in case you did not know, the purpose of the BMWOC is to not only share our industry information, but we are encouraging you, career seekers and other folks, to look at our industry, know what's different in our community that could potentially help us personally and professionally. So with that, you need to make sure that you visit all of the pages and listen to all of the podcasts that we're going to have on this platform this year. We have so many people in different areas of industry. We have health and wellness, we have finance, we have legal, we have so many different areas that you can think of. If you name it, you can think of it, you have it on this podcast. So take advantage of this unique opportunity. Before we get started with our interview today, we're going to thank our corporate partners, which are Cat Serrano LLC, Cheryl Wood Empowers, Concern in Learning, Evangelism Radio, Genesis Preferred Solutions, J Coach International, Nels Tax Help, My Financial Home, Power, STCI, and the Student Teacher, along with our other business corporate sponsors and all of the participants that's on this event and helping to make it a success. So I done said all that, and I'm ready to get started. And we have a young lady here. Her name is Fisayo, and she is the owner of HardyandFit.com, which she utilizes this website and her talent to teach people about health and wellness because she loves to help people make healthy food choices, lifestyle, and behavior changes. Her ultimate goal is to help people, especially busy moms and professionals, to understand and live a healthy lifestyle through nutritional education, wellness tips, workshops, and seminars. For Seo, she has a master's degree in nutrition from Texas Women's University, and she is also an American Council of Exercise certified health coach and weight management specialist. So welcome to the podcast, girlfriend. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
I know I'm excited. I'm all pumped up because this has really been an amazing journey so far with so many health and wellness expert, professionals like yourself are just coming out and speaking. And so I'm just really excited to see someone really young that's out there doing it. So tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and what did you do before you got into nutrition?
Thank you. My name is Fisayo Adegoke, and I'm original from Nigeria, and I live in Katy, Texas, and I have a background in nutrition. I have a master's in nutrition from Texas Women's University, and I also help people, especially busy moms. And a little bit about my story. Um, Sometimes about a few years ago, I had to go do my biometrics at the doctor's, like the annual checkup. And the doctor told me that I had to start exercising because I had lots of fats, like the bad fats, the LDL,
Mm-hmm.
that I had that in my bloodstream, that I had to be intentional about what I eat, and I should try to exercise more. So I started exercising, and by the time I went back to see the doctor and I did some tests, my HDL was good and my LDL was also good.
Nice. Nice. And so that experience just gave you a new awareness about your overall health in general, right?
Yes, the mere fact that you eat, sometimes we we eat healthy and we assume that we are healthy, we still have to do our annual checkups and be more intentional about our health. Yeah. So that's basically what I do. And I
Okay.
also help in encouraging people who want to start exercising to start first by deciding that they can do it and have confidence in them that they can exercise, and also encourage them to start exercising. That gave me an awareness about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that prompted me into actually teaching people about health and wellness, especially moms.
Okay. All right. And so as you got your new awareness and everything, and I'm assuming that after you got your healthy checkup and your HDL and your cholesterol and everything was fine, that was there any other thing that happened in your life that kind of went the other way that said, hey, if I don't keep up with my health, whether through food or exercise, that you was going to go back the other way? So what was some of your experiences in terms of figuring out for yourself what good foods that you should be eating?
Yes, at the time that I went to see the doctor, I was actually eating well, except for the fact that sometimes, we crave sugar, we
Mm-hmm.
crave some
Sugar.
some things that we know we're not supposed to eat, and then we indulge in that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and when I got to see the doctor and he told me that, I was actually shocked because my I wasn't so much on the high side on my weight, so I was shocked when the doctor told me that. So that made me to become more intentional about what I eat. So every time I go do my grocery shopping, I make sure that I get fruits and vegetables, and I plan, because that is very important. It is one thing to go to the store to buy healthy things, and it's another thing to actually eat it, or to eat them. Yeah, so we have
Okay.
to be more intentional
Okay.
about what we get at the store and what we put
Mhm.
in our mouth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, so you're from Nigeria. Now, when you were growing up, was exercise part of your overall regimen, or was it something that came out of, you just kind of saw people not being healthy, and this is what sparked your interest in nutrition?
Well, growing up, I wouldn't say that I didn't exercise. The only time I exercised was when we have physical education time in school. Then, what actually inspired me to go into nutrition was um, the issue of breast cancer or cancer in people. And while I was doing my first degree in Nigeria, I did environmental biology, and we studied genetics and environment. And I noticed that there's a link between genetics, the environment, and the food we eat. And sometimes that those three can interact and can lead to diseases like cancer. So I made up my mind I was going to do something in nutrition and understand the science behind food and how it can prevent people from having such diseases and preventable illnesses.
Okay. And so, and, just like you said, that kind of just sparked a whole new revelation for you between those three things. And so you decided to pursue that. And so, what has been the impact after you got your degree and you started working with nutrition? What has been the impact for you and others as you were going around practicing and teaching people about these methods?
So I think it was because I was going through a time of stress then, and when someone is going through stress, that can reduce the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol in the body. And then the doctor said I should start exercising, and then that was why I actually started going to do Zumba, because I love to dance, and I went through the training to be a Zumba instructor so that I can also help some other women to take advantage of exercising. If they don't like going to the gym, they can adopt any of their favorite activities to exercise. And then I've been able to help some other people, like especially some friends and families, to make food choices. I encourage them to do their annual checkup on time. I encourage them to eat lots of fruits and vegetables and to drink water and to start exercising as well, because diet and exercise are very important for a healthy lifestyle. So that is what I've been doing with my background in nutrition. I've been helping people to make food choices, healthy
Okay.
food choices.
Okay, so I want to get a little scientific. So earlier you mentioned a couple of times about the genetics and the food choices and just overall health. Can you break down and explain how that actually works and how you kind of determine that a lot of times those three things can cause you to get cancer or to be sick in any way? Because I want to make sure that people understand what you meant about the three things that contribute to bad health.
Yes. So in the environment, there are different pollutants in the environment that are harmful to the body, and that when people breathe in such pollutants, it can interact with the genes of the body, and some other things that are also like pesticides and some other organic compounds that may be present in the food that we eat. If we eat things that are not healthy, can interact in the body and can lead to certain illnesses. Yeah, that is the best way I can explain it to a layman.
Okay, so what is the best way for us to be able to manage the foods we eat, because we don't always have control over what pesticides. And I'll give you an example. A lot of times we go to the grocery store and we have a section for foods that, of course, have been, processed with some certain types of pesticides. But then we have the section that is organic, and it doesn't seem to look much different. So, you know, how is the best way for us to minimize those risks of the foods that we eat if we are limited to places we can buy the food and besides even growing the food ourselves?
Yeah, the best way to do that is to clean, clean our vegetables and fruits and anything we buy from the groceries. We wash them well with water and clean them well. Sometimes we can use vinegar to wash, to wash well before we cook or before we eat.
What
And
else can people do in addition to that that would help us with food choices? Because I think everybody knows that we're supposed to wash it, but that doesn't always help. But as you being a professional and dealing with nutrition, what are some other ways that people can manage their eating habits?
to make healthy food choices, whenever you go to make your grocery shopping, the best thing is to shop the fruits and vegetable aisles first. You can shop your favorite fruits and you can also try some fruits that you've not been eating. You can try them and see if you like them. When you shop lots of fruits and vegetables, you'll be able to incorporate that into your diet, because you can only eat what you have at home. When you shop things that are not healthy, you will definitely eat those things that are not healthy. So when you want to start or you want to jumpstart a healthy lifestyle, or you want to make better food choices, the best thing is to shop healthy things whenever you go to the grocery. And once you get home, you should wash your fruits and vegetables and make them visible. You can put them on your kitchen counter. You can also prep, cut them into small pieces so that whenever you feel like snacking, instead of taking something that is not healthy or eating junk, you have something healthy to eat. So that is one of the ways you can help yourself, to jumpstart a healthy food
Hmm.
lifestyle.
A
Yeah.
healthy food lifestyle.
Yeah. So another thing I would advise for anyone who is trying to start eating healthy is not to be too strict on themselves. They should not be too strict on themselves. I want them to know that they can do it. And healthy eating doesn't have to be boring. They can eat all the foods that they want to enjoy, but moderation is key. They have to understand that they have to eat in smaller quantities as well. Portion control is also very important. Instead of using large plates, they can use smaller plates and put lots of fruits, vegetables, grains, and protein in their plates. And the first feeling of fullness is most of the time what we need to stop eating. When we first sense that we are full, that is the best time to stop eating. And then after a while, if you feel hungry, it might actually be maybe because someone is bored, because sometimes when we are bored, we tend to want to go into food or take some junks or unhealthy food to help our emotions. So when we feel like we should eat after we have actually taken lunch or dinner, you can just take some time to relax or do something that you enjoy doing. If you still feel hungry, then you can probably take a healthy snack. And if you want to take an healthy snack, one of the ways to prevent eating junks is meal prep. It's very important to have a plan and prepare ahead. Whenever you go do your grocery shopping, once you get home, you can wash your fruits and vegetables and cut them up, put them in very beautiful containers and transparent containers, and put them in your refrigerator or somewhere that is visible, so that when you're hungry, you don't reach for snacks. You just
Right.
go straight to what you have prepped. That is one of the things that can help as well.
Well, first of all, I like the fact that you said put my food in something pretty because I like looking at pretty containers, and that that would make me go over there and eat it. But one of the other things I do want to add to your point was that I know for me, a lot of times I don't feel my fullness until I actually stand up. So I can actually sit here with a plate of food, and you're right, I need to have smaller plates, right? So I would sit here with a plate of food and I would continue eating my food and never feel full until I actually stand up. So I think for me, if there's people listening to this podcast, I have to actually stand up every few minutes just to make sure I can gauge where my brain and my stomach meet, because otherwise I would just keep eating like, okay, I'm not full yet. I'm not full yet. And I get that all the time. So, do you also recommend folks to do smoothies, or because I know that I used to do smoothies, or I still do them sometimes, not used to, but I don't do it as much as I should, and I really should go back to it. But I usually have like fruits and vegetables like strawberries, bananas, oranges, and then I'll put some kale in there, some spinach. So, do you also recommend people to do smoothie type nutrition, or do you recommend other types of nutrition packages or products, or maybe combinations to help them with their nutrition?
Yes, I recommend smoothies to people, especially when people are busy and they don't have time to take breakfast. It's very good to take smoothies. Take smoothies when you had your kale, just like you said, when you had kale. Sometimes some people add oats or flax, to their smoothies. That will help them to add more fiber into their smoothies, and that is also very good for jump starting the day. I recommend smoothies. I also like smoothies, and my favorite smoothie is the strawberry banana smoothie. Yeah, that's
Strawberry
what.
banana. I love
Yeah.
strawberry banana. Okay. So what else do you do in addition to what you do as far as teaching those about health and wellness? Do you engage in any other type of activity that involves some form of health and wellness?
Yes, I volunteer with the American Art Association. I volunteer with them anytime they have events and then in need of volunteers around the Houston area, and I have the time to go. I usually go with them and I help in educating people about healthy eating as well, and to take good care of their arts, because we have to take good care of our arts, because that is the where our blood comes from. I mean, the heart helps in pumping the blood to every organ and system in the body, and when the heart is not functioning well, we can't be healthy.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, are you also engaged in any conferences that are coming up where people can come and see you speak, or are you involved in any curricular activities such as this in the local area coming up in the summertime?
Well, there's a program coming up for women in Stafford on 14th of April, where I'll be collaborating with one of my fitness friends, and we'll be teaching Zumba for about a few minutes at the event.
So basically, what she's saying in a nutshell is that, having good nutrition is really important to your mind and your body. And just as she said before, that your heart is your center point where all the blood flows to all your organs. So if we are not taking the time to go to the store and, get the organic fruits, or maybe even try to grow your own fruit, and maybe invest in some smoothies, that's a really good combination. I know that I lost 60 pounds just doing smoothies alone, but we know that that is not a substitute for regular meals. So definitely want to make sure that listen to what Fisayo is saying about healthy food choices, whether you're young or old and things like that. So if somebody wanted to do nutrition as a career, what three
Yeah.
pieces of advice would you give them on how they would go about doing what you do and doing it well?
Yes, if someone is interested in having a career in nutrition, I would advise that the person should have a bachelor's degree in nutrition first, and then they can also go ahead and do the registered dietitian program. You know, that that is very good if they can do that, to be a registered dietitian, and they will be able to have everything they need and every skill they need to help people who want to live healthy and make healthy food choices.
Okay. Why don't you give everybody your contact information so that they can contact you if they have any questions about their healthy food choices, and maybe you can give them a consultation.
Yes, you can contact me via LinkedIn with my name Fisayo Adegoke, and through my website www.heartynfit.com, and through ATN Fit Facebook page. And you can also contact me via this number 202-643-4648. Thank you.
Awesome. So, so basically, everybody, here you go. Another professional here that's talking about healthy food choices and the importance of nutrition. So make sure that you click on her website. Also, check with her and call her number, as she stated before, to contact her for a consultation. And also reach out to the other health and wellness experts that is here on this platform, that is all here to help you get a healthy lifestyle. So thank you so much, Fiseo, for being on this podcast platform, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate you. Thank you.